Greetings everyone, my name is ArraySeven, and right this very second I present to you all a tutorial on how to become a master at an ancient martial art that has been under constant evolution since the very first few Team Fortress 2 updates. And only just recently has it progressed to its final form, possessing a massive potential for shattered sphincters. I am without a doubt speaking of the swap and chop Pyro, a method of murder that has been looked down upon since the dawn of the extinguisher. And who's to blame them? If I spent forever walking to the front lines, dodging rockets, ducking snipers, and strafing heavies only to have some random puff and sting Pyro shuffle up to me and cleave me in half like Brian Williams does to dead prostitutes in his closet, I'd be pretty pissed too. Using a cheap combo is only okay under one circumstance, most easily described as the word panache. Panache is style, panache is fashion. Panache is being flamboyant with reckless courage. So in other words, using a swap and chop technique is only acceptable if you do it with flair. Now, the second most important thing for swap and chop is the core loadout. This must include the flamethrower that looks like a drunk decomposing hobo on 49th Street built it, the degreaser. The secondary is highly recommended to be the reserve shooter, but the stock shotgun in most cases is a good alternative, seeing as only having 3 shells in the reserve shooter can be as painful as a cactus jockstrap. And almost equally as important as the drunk decomposing hobo assembled flamethrower is the extinguisher, which looks like it came straight out of prison along with all the socks filled with mashed potatoes. Now, for those of you who aren't sure they have enough flair to play as the chop and swap Pyro, the easiest thing you can do is replace the prison shank extinguisher with another beautiful bow-tied strange festive one. Or, if you're poor like me, the goddamn mailbox goes just as well. Another way you can prevent being called a cheap-ass douchebag, noobs, or free-to-play loser is by decking your Pyro out like a West Side Cadillac. I personally trot around the blood-spattered landscape as an illegal alien, haha, for those of you who get the joke. And, before anyone does this, I would like to point out that wearing a ghastly gibbous proof of purchase Manco cap or Pyrovision goggles will make you appear as more of a cheap-ass douchebag, noobs, or free-to-play loser. Just saying. Playing as a swip and chip Pyro is an art in and of itself. First, get right in some poor sap's grill and poof a bit of fire on him. Then, swap your extinguisher/postal pummeler and slap chop him like Vince on TV. The critical hits from the axe/mailbox are almost a guaranteed kill. Once there's a smoldering corpse on the floor, feel free to taunt him and bask in the wonderful glow of your foe's cruel and unusual death sentence. As a swap and chop Pyro, your natural enemy is range, and the only weapon that you have to combat it would be the reserve shooter, or shotgun. But don't bother trying to shoot at someone with it. It's as accurate as a blind guy with Parkinson's on a merry-go-round. So if someone gets out of your reach, ditch him and go do something else. You'll find someone else to terrorize somewhere else. But if someone's trying to run away from you, the best thing you can do is to air blast their little retreating asses. The short air time will disorient and immobilize them temporarily, in which case you can whip out the reserve shooter and pop a mini crit in their ass. Then switch to the flamethrower and puff some fire, and if they aren't dead by that time, finish them off with the extinguisher. Like I said, a martial art. This has been ArraySeven's How to Swap and Chop. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen.